After months of delay, I finally managed to get back on the birch. Welcome to the Journeyman's Tales. Well, hello. It seems an age since I was out doing it. Well, I think it has been. We've been start of the lockdown was when we were at home pool, which meant I couldn't travel locally, and then we had the full lockdown in South Wales, which means I couldn't travel out of the house. That's finished now, and I managed to get back up to the Syndicate, and this is the first time I've been able to fish the Syndicate since March. I've had a couple of sessions at Linear, which have been less busy, but it's been really busy up here. In fact, when I came about midday yesterday, it was really packed, and I had to wait for somebody to move out of the swim I'm in now. They'd had a couple of fish in daylight, and fortunately for me it was dry while I set the bivvy up and got the bedding all sorted out, and then once I moved on to the rods it started blowing a hoolie and tipping down with rain, so I got absolutely drenched sorting that out. I didn't initially put any bait out, just fished 3 singles for a few hours, and then sort of just after dark I put out 10 spods. Not particularly any particular distance, not off the island, sort of mid-water in the deeper water. And then at 11:30 I was fortunate enough to get a run, and also fortunate enough it stopped raining for me to do a bit of videoing then. Here we go, 11:30, first evening, 30 pound and 12 ounces on the right hand rod, and it stopped raining for half an hour, which is nice. Excellent start. How about that? Haven't been able to get up here for, well, since March really, since we first locked down. So that's a great welcome back. That is, through all the bits. Right, slip her back, I think. It's all been quiet since. I've put a bit of bait out just before it got light this morning, ready for this morning, because as I said, the guys had morning bites and daylight bites before I was here, so I thought if I get it out in preparation, but nothing's arrived as yet. There's been a few topping off the island, but not in mid-water anyway. But at least I've had a chance to let you know what's going on in between showers, because I've 2 or 3 times I've got the camera out and it's absolutely tipped down again. So. Apart from the constant rain, you really can't complain about the weather. These are ideal conditions. The water temperature is good. The air temperature is good. The only thing that could be slightly better is maybe the air pressure, but absolutely perfect conditions in my eyes. Yeah, and someone asked me what's with the black armband. Well, it's not a black armband as such. I put it on there when I'm spotting. If you've seen me spotting before, I tend to rest the rod on my forearm, and I just come up with this little ruse to stop it slipping down the forearm. So it's just a bit of elastic and a bit of pipe insulation, and job done. And it works a treat. The spod that I'm using is more or less the one I showed you in Journeyman's Tales Part 3, but this year I added a few little extra flavours, a bit more fruity stuff in there. The bulk of it is crammed up boilie with no more than a handful of corn, but plenty of liquids to disperse through the water column. I'm only introducing it about 3 or 4 spoms at a time, but on a fairly regular basis to keep some activity in the water. We've now got as far as the second morning and no further action, unfortunately. It was a quiet night fish-wise. The wind was pretty damn strong last night, but fortunately the rain kept off, so I've had the door open most of the night, which was good. But as you can see this morning, I'm doing this piece in the bivvy because it's actually torrential rain out there. It's almost horizontal actually with the wind. So the bivvy door's back up again, and if you know me, I can't stand sitting here looking out of a letterbox, but I've got no choice at the moment. I was hoping to do a bit about the rigs I'm using, because I do change them over slightly towards the winter, and some new hooks that I'm trying. But I'm not going to do that in the bivvy in this light, so I'll probably do it at home and then slot it in, but it'll keep you up to date as to the rigs that I'm using. And the new hooks that I'm trying out, and the hooks that actually produced and worked for the 30 pounder I had on the first night. Not sure whether anything came out last night. One did come out early, just as it had got dark. See that by the flash cameras going off. But I didn't see anything else last night. Certainly off to my left. I can't see around the corner to my right, but when I spoke to Joe the other morning, he said it hadn't been fishing particularly well, which is surprising really, because the weather's actually spot on really. But I mean, the guys that win this swim before me had 3 fish, so apart from the 30 pounder, I'm letting the side down really. Anyway, if I ever get out into some fresh air, I'll get back to you and let you know what's going on. I haven't put any bait out this morning. I'll assess that around about lunchtime, make a decision on whether I'm doing that. Although I have changed the rods around a bit. The right hand rod I've put longer, more towards the island. The middle rod's on the bait where the 30 pounder come, and the left hand rod I've put off to my left a bit more because there's nobody fishing over that side of the lake at the moment. Anyway, I'll get back to you later on. Hopefully the weather might have cleared up a bit. Well, finally, on the last morning, we got a break in the weather. It's actually stopped raining, the wind has calmed down. So I thought I'd just do that piece about the rigs I was talking about earlier on. Now, one of the joys of being in lockdown was overindulging in too much YouTube, but I came across a Think and Tackle podcast with Frank Warwick, and if you haven't seen it, it is well worth watching. I mean, I've watched it 2 or 3 times. But during the course of the podcast, he's extolling the virtues of long shanked hooks. Now, I've never really got into long shank hooks that much, but I thought I'd give them a go this winter. So I came across these ESP trig hammer hooks, which are quite a different shape for a long shank hook. They've got quite a wide gape on them, so I thought I'd give those a go. Now, these are the 3 sizes I've got: the size 4, size 6 and a size 8. and you can see up against a normal size 4 wide gape hook, the size 4 trig hammer is quite the same sort of size gape on it, but it's got slightly longer shank. And then you've got the normal sort of pattern of long shank, which is quite a small gape on it in comparison. Now, when I first saw the size 4 hook, I thought it looked ridiculously big. Now, during the summer months, I normally fish with size 4, very rarely with a size 6, but normally fish with a size 4 curved shank or wide gape. But I have to say the size 4 trig hammer looks huge. So for the sessions during the winter when I'm going to be using it, I'm going to be using no more than the size 6. Now, I tend to drop hook size in the winter anyway, from a 4 to a 6, but 6 would certainly be the largest one I'd use. I might drop down to using a size 8. Also in the winter months, which I referred to earlier, with changing the rigs, is to go over to using a combi link. For the winter combi rig, I'm using 30-pound fluorocarbon attached to 25-pound braid via an all-bite knot. On this particular version, I'm using the multi-rig. That's the one that had the 30-pounder with the homemade orange wafter on it, and that's what I will continue to use throughout the winter months. Well, that's me virtually come to the end of my time, so I'm going to start slowly packing away. Hopefully the rain's going to keep off while I'm doing so everything goes away nice and dry. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. If you can like it and share it around and boost the algorithm, that would be really great. Anyway, I'll catch you all again soon. Cheers for now. Conditions last night were absolutely wild. Big winds, heavy rain, perfect conditions. Terry would have been thrilled with it.